Who was Aristotle? Aristotle was one of the greatest philosophers of all times. He lived in the 4th century BC in the ancient Greece. He originated many new philosophical ideas about the nature of life and matter. Aristotle is said to have written about 200 books on astronomy, physics, poetry, zoology, oratory, biology, logic, politics, government and ethics. His books have been studied by people all over the world for hundreds of years. No other man has influenced the thinking of so many people for so long. Aristotle was the first to make systematic reasoning as the basis of science. This was important because it allowed scientists to verify the validity of their ideas through observation. His books on biology and zoology are considered landmarks in these particular fields. He was the first person to classify animals on the basis of their structures and behavior. He said that dolphins are mammals and not fish. This great man was born in 384 BC at Stagirus in Macedonia in Greece. As his father was a physician in the court of the king of Macedonia, he became familiar with the Greek medicine and biology at an early age. Following the death of his father, he was sent to Athenian Academy of Plato in 367 BC. He studied under the great philosopher, Plato, for about 20 years. After the death of Plato, because of a widespread anti-Macedonian agitation in Athens, Aristotle had to leave Athens. Then onwards he traveled for 12 years, establishing new academies at Assos and at Mytilene. Aristotle lived at Pella, the capital of Macedonia, for 3 years and taught Alexander the Great. In 335 BC he returned to Athens and devoted himself to purely scientific research, and in the same year instituted Lyceum, an institution to rival Plato's academy. For the next 12 years he worked hard to develop and nurture different fields of study. The institution was dedicated to speculation and research in almost every field of inquiry. On the death of Alexander in 323 BC, an anti-Macedonian agitation again broke out in Athens and Aristotle withdrew to Chalcis, north of Athens, where he died in 322 BC. Aristotle believed that every event had a logical explanation, and he was the first man to form conclusions on the basis of investigation and observations. Modern scientists have found that many of the observations made more than 2,000 years ago are true even today. He showed us that every statement should be supported by evidence and that the basis for all knowledge is empirical study.